Rocked up to Creative Conversions again because it's that time. It's that time to create a new vehicle for season 12 of All for Adventure. And look, there's the reason why I come to Creative. They got some serious machines going on here. There's a 79, there's 200, there's a 200. Look at all the backs. Like they cut the backs off them and stack them over there. So much going on here. But I'm here to see my new truck and see how far they've got because this year, it's 200 time. And there it is. They've got a lot further than I thought they would have. So what I did was I basically went, what am I going to build this year? Let's go for a 200. Last year was the 79, the year of the 79. This year it's the year of the 200. I've gone with black, but it's not going to stop there. And let's have a look at the reason why I've chosen a few different pieces. Because I keep going back to what works. And there's no doubt about it when you're touring, it's what works is what you go with. I went 650. People ask me, a lot of people do ask why you go 650 in the chassis or why do you go 300 in the chassis, say for a 79. Because when you're out in the field and also from the experts at Creative, you know, those guys know, they know what's optimum. I know what's optimum because I've been using that style of extension or that chassis extension for years. 650 extension. So that means, what does that mean to you? Well, 650, you grab it and you extend the chassis 650 mils exactly. Now you can extend it a meter or 950, or you can extend it 100 mil. But 650 seems to be the optimum extension for a 200. And why? Because you can get a 2 meter tray on it and you don't have that big underhung tow bar because you don't want to be trying to crawl in underneath your car, right, to hook your bloody trailer on and then realise that when you go off-road, you get this big depart, you know, you get these angles and you're hitting the back of your car with your trailer, right? So that's why that 650 is important. 650 extension, it allows me to get a rear winch on. The one thing you will notice is the rear winch. It is a power machine. This red winch, it's a red winch, alloy housing, 16,500 pound, all the fruit, okay? And that's the rear one. You wait till you see we put up the front, which isn't on there yet. Long range tank, that's a given, there's no doubt about it. Now, when we build the conversion, the first thing that's got to go into the suspension is airbags, okay? That's part of the build. But having that system set up so that it's more user-friendly inside in the cab, so you can adjust the settings in the cab, which I've asked for this one as well. I do that because it does make a difference when you're changing the airbag settings rather than having to come at the back, right? So airbags, suspension, there's no doubt about it, after the success of season 11 and the suspension that was put into both Back in Black, the 200, the D-Max, the MUX, I've gone with that suspension again, so Outback Armour with the coil assist for the little rear coil assist on the shock absorbers for the 200. It just works really well to have that adjustability. So that's in, you'll see that in there. It's a really good looking shock absorber. See, check that out in there. How cool is that thing? Looks pretty cool. So it looks really cool. Sway bars, you've got to have some sway bars going on there. There's a lot of weight in these vehicles once we upgrade GVMs and GCMs and towing capacities and all that. So that's the rear end. The front of it, okay, you've seen where the magic is done, okay? That's the best part. Black being one of the hardest colours to match and to get perfect. They've done an awesome job on it. It's not 100% finished yet, but you can see even at this stage it looks pretty cool. The key to this build is to build something different. And so there's going to be a few modifications going on with the look. So basically the external aesthetics of the vehicle, because I want it to stand out. Like Back in Black, it was a machine that everybody knows. It turned a lot of heads, and that's what I'm going to try and do with this 200. Let's go inside and let's look in depth the detail that goes into the actual build of one of these machines. All right, so there's a fair bit involved in putting a 200 together. There's no doubt about it. Now, Mark, who is basically the guy manages the entire operation here at Creative Conversions, and he has, would you believe, he's been doing conversion for 15 years, and he was the first, okay, Creative Conversion was the first ever to put a 200 series Land Cruiser conversion on the road way back in 2007. Mark, I don't know about you, but you guys were like the pioneers, really, weren't you, when it come to the 200 series Land Cruiser?
Absolutely, the first ones to ever do them. So, yeah, it was such a scary process to go in and get a brand new car that's just come on the line and cut the back of it off.
Yeah,
and make a car.
And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen that many times where, you know, the young fella grabs the tool, the saw, and he starts hooking into a brand new 200 series Land Cruiser worth. Some of those Saharas are worth what? $120?
Yeah, $120. Yeah.
Yeah, like that, straight up. I'm just going to cut the back off. Now, there's a lot more involved in that.
There is.
Look, guys, let's get Mark to show us. Can you show these guys what actually happens? Because I know it takes like 10 weeks before.
It does. It's a really big process, and when it's finished like this, it looks really great. But to get to this stage, it takes a lot of work, a lot of hours.
Let's go and have a look.
Come on for a look.
So, 200 wagon, that's what it starts off as, right?
Yep.
A 200 wagon, to turn it into a dual cab, you got to get rid of the back bit.
We do.
Is that what this is sitting here?
And that's what's left over. So, and fitting place for it right beside the wheelie bin, there's nothing left of it. So it's going to scrap. We can't use it.
Yeah, so it's got no wheels, it's got no engine, it's completely useless.
That's it.
And would you believe it's like brand spanking new, remember? Like a Sahara, you imagine what goes into the back end of a Sahara. There is airbags, there is audio,
air conditioning.
There is air conditioning, you name it, there's leather trim seats, everything, all that. So you're dealing with customers every day that basically bring in, you know, some people are bringing in $130,000 Sahara, black Sahara, right? And they're going, hey Mark, why should you cut the back of my car up? And so you obviously got to not convince them of that, but it's the final product that says it all.
It is. So we're going to make that Land Cruiser better. That's the biggest thing. We're going to make it better. It's going to ride better.
That's why.
That's it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So ride better. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Well, let's see how we make it better.
Let's come and have a look at some chassis.
All right, chassis. So when you're doing a chassis, obviously my truck's 650 extension.
Yep.
Now, which is I've found over the years dealing with, you know, building trucks, that's the optimum length, right? But you've done up to like 950.
That's correct, yes. Yeah,
like
so
that's a huge extension. Do you have any 950s?
Not here at the moment. We've got a couple of 850s. So
850.
Anything bigger than 750 is built for a specific build. So someone wants to put a slide-on camper on the back. They want a big tray for a builder. So
gotcha.
That's what we're after. They're not worried too much about turning circle, but they want that carrying capacity and they want the comfort of that 200 series.
But the one thing that I learned really early in the piece with a 200 series Land Cruiser is a converted 650 extended 200 series Land Cruiser has a better turning circle than a 79 standard.
Absolutely, but even if you go to 850, it's still better than a 79 series standard.
So you see, that's why when I'm in the bush, I find the manoeuvrability of the 200 a lot better.
That's it. And what you'll find compared to your 79, when you're sitting there and you're going from lock to lock, your 4 turns of the steering wheel on a 79, on a 200 series, it's 3 turns. So,
so you're turning the steering wheel less. So less arm pump, all sorts.
And it turns faster, it's awesome.
The other thing too, and I've heard this very common as well, is they say, and let's face it, you guys are asking it, so if you're extending it, what happens with ramp over? What are they like off-road? Aren't they going to get hung up? You're hearing that,
That's what you hear all the time. And we have a look at cars that come back second-hand and there's no damage underneath. So everybody's worried about that ramp over, but it's not as bad as what you think.
I personally, I've never, ever had a problem where the ramp over has stopped me travelling, where, say, Simon, for instance, in the D-Max, who is not extended, right? I've never had a problem going, sorry, Simon, I can't follow you, or you can't follow me because we're not going to get over that. So that myth, I reckon, is busted.
It is.
So if anyone wants to ask that question, they answer it for sure. Anyway, just check out the footage where we take them.
That's it.
That covers it. What do we do on the hoist here, mate?
Righto. So what we've actually done is we've taken your brand new Land Cruiser and we've made it into 2 pieces. Basically, it's not as simple as you just cut it and roll it back. So we've actually cut it, we pull it back, we clean the chassis up, we overlap all the joins, and then we put plates over the top to really give it some strength.
Okay, so you're obviously not just doing that in your backyard, right?
No, that's
it's not a backyard job.
Yep.
And you've been doing it for 15 odd years.
Yes.
And we're starting way back with 80 series Land Cruisers, 100 series, and then obviously pioneering the 200.
Yep.
I think there are more creative conversions on the road than any other conversion mob.
Yep. By far.
Tenfold, by far.
Yep.
And I've used them long enough. But when you're doing that 200, I see the steel work of it, because I'm a steel worker by trade. That's what I do as well. The steel work's probably the easiest part. Like, I often wondered, what about all the other stuff? You've got air conditioning pipes, you've got wiring, there's a computer up the front.
That's right.
That has to tell that it's a wagon.
That's right.
And then there's airbags. Like, holy crap, mate, there's some stuff going on.
There's a lot of stuff. There's handbrake cables. There's everything inside there.
Handbrake
Drive
cables.
shafts.
Drive shaft,
The list is endless. It's amazing how much stuff it takes to make that rear axle work.
And you got it to a point in time where it's actually a plug-and-play system where...
That's correct, yep.
All right, week 2. All right, so from what I can gather here, week 2. Now, this is obviously a second-hand car that someone decided to chop.
It is, yes.
And I'm assuming they're doing no chassis extension.
No, there's no chassis on this one. They're just keeping this nice and short.
And what do you call this one?
So this is just a short conversion, or
call it a shorty.
Yep, shorty.
Shorty. So shorty, guys, is where you get the wagon, you chop it, don't extend the chassis, but look, that's the size of the tray or the canopy that you can put onto it. All right, so week 3, week 4, something
Pretty
like
much
that.
the end of week 3, yes.
Yeah.
At this stage here.
Well, we're starting to look like a car now, like a dual cab. This is where all the magic happens. Look at this stuff here. You've obviously, and look, let's not kid yourself. You've got to put body filler in there. There's no
other way to do it.
Yeah, there's no other way to do it. You got to put some body filler in there. But look at that. That's steel there. That's all steel. There's no body filler going in there. But to get these shapes, obviously, we've used a lot of steel, but we've also used a lot of body filler.
And it's just a light skim over the top, just to get that shape back again.
Because we've got to put $1 million paint job on there.
Absolutely.
And some of those trucks, like the Sahara with metallic paint and...
Yep. And the pearl paints as well. So all those layers of paint on there just to get that shine. So.
Oh yeah, and then the clear coat and all
Absolutely,
that. So he's in the step now. He's getting this ready to undercoat.
That's correct. So he's gone over. The boys have done all the panel work to it, and he's going through. He's just cleaning it all up, making sure they haven't missed anything. Make sure it's perfect, and then he'll put the primer over it.
I see in here. So this is where the wheel used to be.
That's right.
Yeah, there's like a little shelf. It's got. All this is steel. You can see this is steel here, right through here. There's some sort of plastic guard thing that comes through here, and so this all becomes steel. Yeah, no, I'm starting to see how it all sort of comes together now, because remember, I see mainly the finished product.
That's right, and this is you can sort of start to see how many individual pieces go in to actually build these vehicles. So,
yeah, no, that's cool. All right, so getting ready for undercoat. What's the next step after that?
So after undercoat, they rub it, prep it, and they paint it. And I've got one right next door here that's just come off the gun.
Fresh, mate.
Fresh, coming out of the
Just come off the gun, they say. In here?
Yep, right in here.
All right, let's check her out. Oh, she's fresh, all right. Look at that. Fresh as a daisy. All right, so obviously that's the white one.
This is the white one. So.
Yes. Yeah, so that now... is he, when you say fresh off the gun, so that's not clear coat?
Yep, so it's clear coat on this one.
Yep.
So he's finished. This has been painted about 2 hours ago, so that's how fresh it is.
So he's clear coated it?
Yes, yep.
Basically now, what's the next step?
Sits in here till tomorrow. Tomorrow he'll take all the paper off, we'll get it outside, and then we'll have a look at it, and then we'll start putting it back together.
Okay, let's get a close look at that and see how cool. Because the painter, at the end of the day, when people look at something, it's generally the finish, and it's the painter that's got to make the finish happen.
That's right.
Look at that. Like, I'm looking at that now, and mate, I'm just looking at it, and it is flawless. It almost looks like it comes out of the bloody Toyota factory, doesn't it?
That's right. So our painter, he's been here for over 10 years. And he's been, the whole time we've been doing the 200 series, he's been doing the paint jobs for us.
Yeah,
the whole time.
There you go. He'd be good at them by now, eh?
Yeah, he's had a bit of practice.
Starting to get to the final stages here now. All right, so looks like we're starting to get some fit out happening here by the looks of this.
It is. Basically, time to do some wiring and put some of the trimming back together.
So this is VX, GXL, GXL. So this is a GXL, so it only has like a fraction of the stuff that Sahara has.
Yeah,
Look at the wiring in here. Oh, there's some serious stuff in here. So you've got to fit everything that was in the back.
that's right.
And bring it all forward, pack it in here somewhere, and make sure it all works too.
And make sure it stays working. Probably the biggest thing. So.
Yeah, I got you. It looks like a mammoth job.
It is. There's a lot of stuff to here. So he's got about 2 days he spends inside the cab here.
Yeah.
And then about a day or 2 days to put the actual all the interior back together as well.
Lining, carpet, you name it.
Hey, Jase, come and have a look at this.
Yeah, now you're talking. So this, look, there's the panel there, I'm assuming. So this is what covers that.
That's it.
So this is in the process of basically panels going on. That's very neat and tidy. There's no doubt about it. The one thing about with wiring, I've noticed that a lot of, like Toyota build a really good machine.
They do. Yep.
Like Toyota standard is up here.
It is. Their research and development's amazing. It really is. And their reliability.
So the customer's coming to you.
Yep.
And I myself, look, let's face it, I'm a customer.
Yep.
I'm gonna want that Toyota quality in your workmanship.
That's exactly
And
right.
I want to see my good Toyota, my brand new Toyota, look like it was out of the factory.
That's it. And that's what we expect. So we expect this to look exactly the same. So if you pull a panel off this one, if you pull off a panel in 5 years later, it's going to look exactly the same as that. So everything's where it's supposed to be.
What's going to happen if I say have a problem, let's say, I don't know, there's a flashing light on my friggin' dash, because it does happen.
It does,
Yeah.
There's little sensors play up, so if it's all just thrown inside there, you can't fix a problem over the phone. These cars go all over Australia. So if you're in Western Australia and you say, I've got a problem with it, we'll talk you through where this wiring is. Because I know that this sensor's here on this car as it is on every other single car. So there's no hidden surprises underneath the back there.
Yeah, so it's not a pile of wiring just shoved in there.
it.
You've positioned things correctly. You've put them in that configuration because of that. And you made it nice and tidy. There's no doubt about it. You know, there's so many different pieces going on. I don't even know what half this stuff is. I'm assuming you do?
We do, yeah. So this is all out of a VX. So this is all the stuff that used to be inside the back of the car that you normally don't see hidden behind the panels.
Yeah.
So even your 240 volt inverter comes back on here. And that's
what's the inverter for?
So the Toyota,
oh yeah, of course.
they put an inverter on the back of your 200 series, so we put it back inside there in a real convenient spot, so you can get to it from either seat.
Yeah, I see. You've glued it to the back wall using special glue. Yeah, look, hey, that looks cool. Like, it looks really tidy.
That's it. And we expect that you go down those rough four-wheel drive tracks, and that's going to stay exactly like that the whole time. Nothing's going to move.
Yeah, and if there was ever a problem, and let's face it, cars do have problems. I find lights flashing on my dash every now and again from whatever, you know, a broken wire or that to me looks like a really good job. So I'm happy that that's going to happen in the back of my truck.
Absolutely, exactly the same as that.
All right, so it's pretty close actually. This looks like it's got a sunroof, so it's a VX or a Sahara or something like that.
These ones, same thing. So it's all finished off inside here.
Oh, velour trim too.
Yeah,
I bet you that's a nightmare to keep.
That's it, terrible to keep clean. So we do our best to keep them as clean as we can on the way through.
Yeah.
Last couple of pieces go in, and then it's a detailing stage from there.
Yeah, so it's nearly ready for the customer.
All right, Jase, now we've gone full circle. Come and have a look at
We're back to the 200 now.
That's it. This is yours. So this is pretty much the final stage. This is the most important part we do here. So this is your second stage manufacture plate. Now, this takes it from your Toyota to your creative conversion.
Okay, so now it's no longer a Toyota Land Cruiser wagon.
That's right.
LC200. It is now
a creative conversion dual cab.
Dual cab, and that's the little sticker here tells me. And this because we're building from brand new.
That's correct. Never been registered.
Never been registered. Full federal compliance.
That's right.
What's my towing?
So this one here. So your towing is 4.2.
So we have 4,200 kilograms towing capacity.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep. And you have a GVM of 4.2.
Okay, so this vehicle weighs 4.2?
It can, so everything in it with the tow ball, with the ball weight, the whole lot.
Ball weight.
Yep, you can go up to 4.2 on that one.
Okay, and then what's the total
Yep.
combined, not combined, but what's the total
Yep.
GVM that I can carry when I'm not towing?
So when you're not towing, so this one we've done a second upgrade to, and we've got to 4495 as well.
Is that Outback Armour
That's
kit?
with the Outback Armour
Yeah,
suspension
gotcha.
as well. That's right.
When I'm not towing,
Yep.
what is my maximum GVM so the vehicle can weigh?
Yep. So you can get up to 4495 kilos.
4,495 kgs.
That's correct.
So
yep.
canopy, fuel, 5 people.
Yep.
That is massive. That's absolutely massive.
Yep.
Now, I get asked a lot of this. A lot of people ask me this question. Jase, why spend X amount of dollars on a 200 series conversion
Yep.
when you just go down the road and buy a 1500 Ram?
Yep. Well, that's the problem. When you buy the Ram, you just can't carry that same weight. It really can't.
I'm seeing ads on TV going, oh, it's the what is it? The Ute Killer.
The Ute Killer. That's right.
It can tow 4.5 ton.
Yep. That's it. It's just when they do the towing and the combined mass, they just can't get it up as high.
So basically, if I go and get something that, let's say, here's a scenario. I hook my boat,
Yep.
which weighs pretty much 4,200 kilos.
That's right.
Hook it on the back of a 1500 Ram.
Yep.
What can I put in the Ram?
Not much at all.
It might be able to tow 4.5 ton, but for starters, okay, my boat weighs 4,200. Now that is a big boat. It's 7.8 metres long. That is a massive boat. I put that on the back of a 1500 Ram. I will not be able to put a canopy. I can't have a long range tank full of fuel. I can't have my kids in the car. Can't have my wife in the car, right? And I can't have a canopy. Which part is a Ute Killer? It ain't killing my Ute. That's why I got a 200 series Land Cruiser conversion. And mate, the reason why I get it, apparently you're telling me,
Yep.
every second phone call you get.
Yep. It's exactly that. So this sticker here is the most important thing. So
That one there.
Yep.
There you go. I hope that answers all your questions, by the way. She's coming together. We've still got a lot more work to do.
Only halfway.
But, yeah. Anyway, thanks for showing me around the workshop,
No
mate.
worries at all, Jase. Anytime.
Keep up the good work.
No worries.
Alrighty. It's only just begun. Just to get it to that stage, you've seen how it all comes together. Okay, the magic is done there. Now it's time to start making this 200 series Land Cruiser look really, really good and, be different. Be something different, like Back in Black was. That thing went global. This 200 series Land Cruiser, I'm hoping we're going to do the same thing. So next stage, we're going to start talking about suspension and tyres, rims, all those sorts of things. How high should I lift it? What size tyres do I put on? Well, because of that experience I've had with these vehicles, I'll fill you in.